Verdis Morgan Jr., known as Junior by his family and friends. We're here today to talk about what happened to our son. We're still asking for answers. We're still asking for his belongings. On March, 2 weeks after we had the funeral, we decided we were going to have an independent autopsy done. And we hired Dr. Turner out of St. Louis, Missouri to perform that independent autopsy. And Dr. Turner asked, why did I want to get an independent autopsy done? And I told her, for one, the body that we received does not look like my son, Verdis Morgan Jr. The other thing is the wound that they told us he shot himself in the head with a 40 millimeter, and that it was 1 inch above the right ear, and there was an exit wound to the left frontal of the head. And my husband went over the body and he couldn't find the exit wound. And then my husband said that the wound on the side of the head just didn't look like it was done with a 40. So she asked, what did the funeral home say? And I told her the funeral home didn't say anything. And, you know, she asked, did we contact Florida? And I said, yeah, we contacted Florida, but we never got any kind of response from them. So they never called us back. You know, I left messages with the Detective Matson. I left messages for Damon Breton. I left messages for the pathologist, whoever performed the autopsy on Verdis Morgan Jr. And I never got a phone call or anything back from them at all. So those were the reasons why we wanted to have an independent autopsy done. So I received a phone call from Dr. Turner. She asked me, was I able to talk? And I said, yes, I was able to talk. And I put the phone on speaker so my husband can hear, you know, what she had to say, because he knows way more about gunshot wounds than I do. So he was able to understand the information that she had given us.
So what she started to explain to us was that Verdis's injuries to his head were a tangential gunshot wound to the head. Now what that means is the bullet, when it made contact, it went underneath the scalp and slid across the skull and exited out of the back. And she also stated that it was done with left a tracking for a high-powered weapon, such as a AR-15 assault rifle or a Magnum weapon, such as a 357 or 44 mag, that type of weapon. She also stated that what killed Verdis was blunt force trauma. She also stated that if she had the brain, that she would tell exactly what type of weapon that caused the blunt force trauma on his head and what killed him.
So I then asked Dr. Turner, was that a real nose? And she asked me, what did I see when I saw the body? I said, I saw a slender nose. She said, yes, that is a real nose. She said that, are there any other concerns while she has the body that, you know, we wanted to address? And my husband asked her, did the body have any teeth? And she says, yes, the body has teeth. And my husband says that Verdis Jr. had a overbite, and she said, I'm not finding an overbite. So she wanted us to get the dental records forwarded to her so she can do the dental comparison of the body that we received from Pinellas County. Well, she got the dental records and they came back inconclusive. They were not a 100% match. Dr. Turner asked me once again, how was Verdis Jr. identified? And I said, according to what we were told from Pinellas County agencies, he was identified with a still photo from Walmart, and Damon Breton said that he was identified with tattoos that was Cody, and he couldn't tell me because it was a ruler on it, so he didn't know for sure, and he had a gold teeth, and yes, that's your son. That's what it was. And Dr. Turner told me that Florida knows they cannot identify a body with tattoos. That's not how you identify a body, and you can't identify a body with a still photo. So Dr. Turner called me to inform me that we will have to put the DNA testing off until she comes back from Puerto Rico, because they needed pathologists over there to assist with the autopsies. And that was when they had that big hurricane over in Puerto Rico. And once Dr. Turner returned back to St. Louis, she did call me to let me know that she was back. But not only was she back, that she was going to go ahead and change her findings to go along with Florida. And I was like, why? I said, I thought you said it was a tangential gunshot wound to the head. She said, no. I'm going to just go with what Florida said. And I said, I thought you said there were no holes in the skull. She said, oh, the bullet went in through the softest part of the skull. And I said, well, where's the exit wound at? She said, you know, I'm going with Florida, and I need a few days to modify my autopsy, and I will send you everything in the mail. And that was pretty much it. Pretty much it. I still don't have a reason as to why she changed her findings to go along with Florida. And, you know, my thing is, what did you see on the body that you autopsied? Not what Florida said, but what did you see on the body that you autopsied? And at the end of the conversation, Dr. Turner says to me, oh, by the way, that's your son. So 2 weeks had went by, and we hadn't received the autopsy that Dr. Turner was supposed to send through mail. So I called Dr. Turner, and it went straight to voicemail. I waited 4 days, and I called her again, and it went straight to voicemail. My husband decided to, no, we got the autopsy a few days after that. So we got the autopsy, but we didn't get the specimens or the pictures. So my husband decided to email her. So in the email, she informs him that this is a better way to communicate with her. So my husband says to her, we didn't get the specimens, nor did we get the pictures. So she said for $150 more, the specimens can be cut and you can get them then. So I go to the post office to get a $150 money order so I can get the money order put in the mail so we can get these specimens and pictures from her. Well, before I can even get the money order, my husband calls me and says, don't worry about getting a money order. And I said, why? He said, because Dr. Turner sent me back an email saying that our attorney and her can work something out. And that was the end of it. We never got the specimens, and we never got the pictures. And we never got an attorney that we can hire to stay with us long enough to get anything from her, because everybody said it was civil and criminal. And that's it.